Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bassima and I'm a life and productivity coach, and today's video is all about the 3 mistakes that you might currently be making that are stopping you from achieving your goals. So if you want to see more videos like this, hit that like and subscribe button and let's get right into the video. Number 1 mistake that you're currently making that's stopping you from achieving your goals is committing to too many goals at the same time. And I know many of us feel pressured by some sort of invisible timeline where we feel like we have to accomplish certain things by certain dates, ages, time, whatever the case may be. This causes us to end up piling goal after goal on top of each other, but at the end of the day, nothing really gets accomplished because there's just too much happening and too much change that you want to create at the same time. If you've ever set a goal before, you do know that there's some level of habit changing and sacrifice that has to go into accomplishing that goal. When you end up just setting too many goals, that means that there are more habits to break and more sacrifices to make. If you're starting a goal that's challenging, this can totally throw you off, make you feel overwhelmed, make you feel like your goal is even more difficult to accomplish. What I recommend to you instead is picking one main goal that you want to work on for the next period of time and focusing on 1 to 2 habits that you need to change associated with this goal. And once these habits become second nature, then you can add on 1 to 2 more habits that will lead you closer and closer to your goal. So if it's losing weight, it could be that you want to cut out sugar for a couple of weeks and you want to start with breaking that habit. Or if it's starting a business, you might want to increase your skill in a certain subject. So what you could do is putting your phone out of sight when it comes time for you to work so that all your focus goes into learning this new skill. This is going to help you feel clear in what your goal is and what you need to do in order to get there without all the extra noise that might surround your goals when you set too many at the same time. The second mistake that you're making is not setting smaller goals along the way to your bigger goal that you've set. So oftentimes what we're going to do is we're going to set a long-term bigger goal that's maybe a year, 5 years, 10 years down the line, and it's super easy to lose motivation when these goals are just so far down. Another thing that comes into play here is that you might not know all the necessary steps that you need to take in order to get to these long-term goals. Instead, if you set shorter goals on a weekly, monthly, or quarterly basis, you'll be able to actually evaluate the progress that you're making, have something to look forward to, feel motivated towards your long-term goal. It will also help to reveal to you what are the next steps that you need to take in order to get to your long-term goal and really help you develop some habits on a long-term basis, which is ultimately what you want to work towards when you set these goals for yourself. I definitely encourage you to start incorporating these when you create a bigger, longer-term goal. Now, the last mistake that you're making that's preventing you from accomplishing your goals is you are not being specific enough. And when you're not specific enough, this is another reason that can contribute to you feeling distracted and getting shiny object syndrome, which means that anything you see or hear that seems interesting or that you feel like you might want to do is going to cause you to falter from your goal. And really, that's what you want to avoid so that you can stay consistent and week by week create progress and eventually get to your goal. So really start with 1 to 2 goals max where you get really specific with them. And I'm going to throw on 3 questions here that you can ask yourself so that your goals can not only be specific but become powerful and you really become crystal clear as to what it is that you're working towards. So the 3 questions that I have for you is, what do you want to accomplish? Second, how will you know that you've achieved this? So what will it look like for you when you've actually reached that goal? Most importantly, does it feel realistic and achievable by the goal date that you have set for yourself? Now, sometimes if your goal isn't easy to quantify, I have a little hack here that you could use. The best way to actually approach this is to use some type of scale for yourself. For example, your goal is to not feel so completely wiped after your day job or your full-time job so that you can actually start to pursue a side hustle. Now, if this is the case, what you want to do is evaluate where you currently are on some type of energy scale. So let's say 1 to 10, 1 being having little to no energy and 10 being super pumped up. you want to evaluate where you currently are on that scale. Then determine where you want to be on that energy scale by your target date. That's a super easy way that you can approach some of your goals if they're not as easy to quantify. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it was helpful for you and you feel motivated to start setting goals that you know that you'll actually follow through on. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.